Well, the news is out. The brackets are coming out, and in the lightweight bracket is the man with me today, Alfie Davis. Alfie, how we doing, brother?
Yeah, yeah, all good, my man.
What's the reason for entering this tournament? Obviously, longtime Bellator had a PFL fight last year, but why the tournament?
I love tournament structures. Personally, I've been wanting to do a tournament for a while, but that's what got offered to me, my man. And I'm a prize fighter. There's a big prize there, so I'm coming for to rob the bank and get out of there with my money.
Well, while money's on the mind, what's actually more important? You can't say both, even though both's probably the answer. So, what's more important, the title or the money?
Yeah, I'd have to say money, mate. I'd have to say money. It's as I said, I'm a prize fighter, and I like fighting, and that's what I do it for. But equally. I know you said I can't say both. Equally, the prestige of having the title will bring you more money, and PFL as a brand. I think if you get a title in the PFL in future years, that's going to be a massive statement. So yeah, it's a tough one, but yeah, if I had a gun to my head, I'd say the money.
Luckily, there is no gun to your head, and you get both if you win anyways, so you don't need to choose. Any talks of opponent location yet? Can you say anything there?
Well, I've been given the opponent and a location, but I'm not sure if I'm allowed to release it because I know that
Probably
the
not.
yeah, 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 yeah. Everybody. It was good, the good fishing though. Oh, yeah, it was good fishing, but unfortunately, I don't think I'm allowed to say it yet. I think they want to do the marketing themselves. Yeah,
Well, give me this at least. Is it a matchup you view from the outside as an exciting one for fans? Like, I don't know if you can give me like striker, grappler, like anything.
100%. It's a very exciting matchup. I think what they've done in the first, judging by who I've heard through the grapevine, what other people have got as well, they've matched people on the styles in which they think will complement each other. Put it that way.
Mm.
If that makes sense. Yeah, I
Yeah,
won't say
yeah.
anything like that. So I think the first rounds are is full of complementary matchups stylistically. So I think stylistically I've been matched very well for this first round.
And if this is the opponent I ask about right now, you don't have to say so. Just pretend it's not. But I'd be a fool not to ask about Mark Jacasey, also in your bracket. I believe you guys actually used to train together, like at GBTT. Did you guys were you guys there at the same time?
Yeah, well, I've sparred Mark a few times.
I figured.
Yeah, I think I can tell you that it's not Mark.
Okay,
So
good. There we go.
not Mark. So you got one there that it's not Mark. I've sparred Mark a few times, and Mark's very talented. So that would be a very exciting matchup. I think we do complement each other in terms of he's another one in the bracket that would make an exciting fight. But I will tell you that it's not Mark.
Well, that's a matchup I think maybe we'd like to see a little further into the tournament. England versus England. He went to Spain to train. You stayed there, so there's definitely like a storyline to write. And you said you guys have sparred. Any like animosity at all? You guys friendly? Like, what's the relationship like?
No, no, yeah, we're pretty cool. I mean, I think we have a lot of mutual friends. There's not
Probably,
really,
yeah.
yeah, there's not really animosity. As I said, I think he's very talented. But yeah, when obviously fight time is fight time, and then when we get in the cage, it's different. And yeah, I mean, I'd like to fight Mark. Uh, as a fan, I think it'd be very good. And yeah, I think I'd like to fight him one day. It'd be good to see. I mean, from the sparring sessions we had, if that was recorded and aired, I mean, I think we'd be getting a lot of views. To put it that way.
Hey, you're getting me excited, so I hope that could possibly be in the stars there. In the finals, you make it all the way there. Who in the bracket, if anyone, is your ideal person you want to fight for that money and the belt?
I want Alexander Shabili. Shabili I lost to in 2020. It's been 5 years since then, so I've got a bit of a grudge there. And also I think he's an exciting matchup, man. He's a very talented individual. I think I would say he's the favorite of the tournament, and he's very talented. So I want to get that loss back. So yeah, I hope it should be in the final, me and him.
That'd be a good one, man. I think a lot of people are saying him and Godzi are like the top two that are looking in that spot. So I think safe to say probably one of them will be there, and that would be a great matchup, a great little rematch there. You one of those people that really likes like I don't know. Some people can't move on from a loss. Are you one of those people you need to get them back?
Yeah, yeah. I think you always have sort of a little. You don't like. I don't think anyone likes losing.
Nah.
Uh, yeah, yeah. I do like the idea of sort of what happened with GSP, where he sort of he did lose, but then he beat the people that he lost to. So yeah, I think if I could do that in my career, that'd be great.
And what are your thoughts on yeah, obviously the axe man, but you got some other axes here you can use now. Any thoughts on elbows being added?
Yeah, I like an elbow personally. I've dropped a few people with elbows before. Obviously, I'm a striker, um, and I think in close, I'm very good with elbows. So it's very good for me. I would say personally. Obviously, the cut scenario is not ideal, but I don't think I'll be on the receiving end of that.
And obviously, newer to PFL, you've been with Bellator for a long time. I guess like when you join a new promotion and you see like some fighters having contract issues, whatever it be, like does that make you nervous at all? Do you have any thoughts on that, or it's been smooth sailing for you, so you're not really even thinking about it?
Um, I wouldn't say it doesn't make it you nervous, but equally, the people that have had issues, they've been at different stages of the careers from me. So, my personal stage, I've been treated very well, and then the other people, it's not. It's mainly been the top end ones that
Yeah.
wouldn't. I wouldn't say that they've been overpaid because I feel that combat athletes should be paid a hefty amount anyways because we're essentially putting our life on the line, but. I think that in terms of the market value for them, they were sort of overvalued coming into the PFL, and the PFL had to deal with that. So as I said, I don't disregard the fighters at all, but I understand from a business point of view what went on. So, but I don't think I was in that position. So yeah.
And Bellator, like I said, no more. Many, 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 many years of great memories. I've been watching Bellator since I was probably a toddler. I guess like how do you think Bellator will be remembered as a promotion? You're no stranger to Bellator.
Yeah. I mean, I hope it's I think it will be remembered if people are well educated on it. I mean, it was one of the top runners for years. Like, obviously, it was secondary to the UFC, but for a long period, it was number two for many years, and they put on some great matchups. So hopefully, what I hope happens with MMA is what happens in a lot of sports is it doesn't become part of the brand, it becomes part of the fighters. So I hope in years to come, people will look back at Bellator and they'll be like, oh, he fought in Bellator. Oh, look at him. He's really talented. Not like, oh, he's Bellator, so he must not be good. And then I think it's sort of, and obviously all the Bellator guys that do switch over to the UFC, you can just see how talented they are and what they've done in that promotion. So it does sort of prove it that the Bellator had some of the best guys in the world, and I hope that people can see that and get past this branding issue in years to come.
And I mean, just a prime example of that is one of your buddies, Michael Venom Page, coming off a massive win against Shara Bullet, where everyone was counting MVP out. I didn't understand it. I was like, okay, I'll take the underdog odds there. But you've been working with MVP at all for this camp?
No, well, I've been long-term training partner with Michael, but I actually moved camps recently. So I've not worked with Michael at all. But me and Michael, I first met Michael when we fought in a kickboxing tournament when I was aged 16, and now I'm 33. So I've known Michael for many years, and yeah, he's taught me a lot in the game. So yeah, very thankful for yeah being a friend of Michael's.
And just with like you guys are both transitioning, right? He goes from Bellator to UFC. Now you're going Bellator to PFL. Like, does he offer you any advice of like of late? Just like I don't know. I imagine working with someone and knowing someone at that caliber of fighting has to be very insightful at times.
Yeah, for sure. He did help me out a lot with like sort of like what you'd expect from a contract, I suppose, at the back end of fighting there. And we did discuss like what he thinks of each company. And then yeah, he had very good words to say about the PFL and what they're doing as well. So he and Bellator actually, he I remember that he was upset leaving Bellator in terms of a personal thing with the team that Bellator had there. So yeah, he only had good words to say about him. And then yeah.
Obviously, PFL tournaments front and center of the mind, but do you ever see yourself in a couple years possibly following step there and going to the UFC as well?
Um, I've been asked this a few times, and I, I can't see it being a vision, to be honest with you. I feel like I would never say never, but I feel like if I win this tournament and then I'm the champ of the PFL, I feel like yeah, I defend that a few times, maybe I go there, and if I'm a high earner, I've got the vision of the PFL, and I'm quite excited for it, and personally, I'm a bit of a fighter's fighter. I think that we need a new dog in the division in the world, you know. And although I'm a huge fan of the UFC and all the fighters there and the company itself, it's amazing what they've done. But I think being a fighter's fighter, if I had the platform to bring up other fighters and bring up another company that could rival them just for the future. That I think once I've made my money, I feel like that's something that I would like to do.
And just entertain the fan in me for a second here. Is there a UFC lightweight, maybe not even UFC, just any lightweight in the world, top guys that you're like, that fight right there, me and him would be like one the fans would remember forever? Is there anything like that?
Yeah, there's loads. Yeah, Charles Oliveira, I've been a big fan of for years, and I think me and him would have a great matchup in terms of the UFC. And then in terms of the tournament, man, there's seven names there. I think there's a few in there that will be an amazing matchup, you know. So that's only months away. So I'm excited.
Yeah, it's like a month and a half away, man. That's getting very, very close. Last question for you, and this is kind of a silly one, but I do some Muay Thai, I do the kicks and all that. I can't comprehend how you so effortlessly throw that axe kick. I mean, do you do like specific mobility, flexibility exercises for that, or is it just like repetition?
Well, funny enough, it's not even repetition because I've told this story before. I was a big fan of Andy Hook, the kickboxer, and I was before that fight where I axe kicked the guy. I was just rewatching some of his highlights, and he didn't knock the guy out. It was in a Kyokushin karate match, and he just did it. And I was like, yeah, actually, I can see he was faking the spin there, and then he's doing it. I'm going to try that in sparring. I did it in sparring. I landed it on one of my teammates, and he like pulled a real funny face, like he was really hurt. And I was like, "That little kick's done that." And then yeah, so and then when it came out, and I did it, just expressed it in the match, and I was like, "Oh yeah." But to be honest with you, I've been trying to replicate it ever since, and I'm trying to stay away from the repetition of it because it is highly effective, but it's also, I'd say, it's probably a low percentage move in terms of other moves that are there. But it does look good, and yeah, but it can get you in a little bit of trouble. But I still do use it though. I still do use it.
Here's what you got to do. You don't throw it at all in the tournament, not even a hint of it. And then you get to the finals. You don't throw it for the first round or two, third round. Bam. Pull it out, knock him out on the mic, call your shot, get on Joe Rogan. I think it works well.
Yeah, I think that works very well. Yeah, Joe Rogan's a big fan of it. He's mentioned a
That's what
good
I'm
few.
saying. Yeah, I saw it's like pinned on your Instagram. Joe Rogan's talking about it.
That sounds like I'm gonna take that. That sounds like a very good storyline.
Just,
Yeah.
just shout me out on the mic too. Remember, I was the one that told you this. But Alfie, my man, thank you so much for the time. Anything you'd like to say to all your fans around the world ahead of the big tournament?
No, just tune in. I think we've got some elite athletes in all of the tournaments. I'm personally, I feel like I'm in the best stage of my career. I'm in the peak. I feel like everything's happening for a reason, and I'm going to come out and I'm going to put on performance. So tune in and enjoy the show.
Tune in indeed, and hopefully very soon we get some fight news for Alfie Davis. Alfie, thank you so much, and kick some ass. All right, man.
Oh, wow, man. Thanks a lot. Yeah, take
Yep.
care.
You too, man.